And yeah, I think the whole concept with jihad is really interesting because it's basically talking about the holy war within, like the
Han Meditations. Hey guys, as you can see, I have all these journals. The link will be in the description. Hello guys, I am Han. This is Kelly.
Hi everyone.
And we are Han Meditations. We're excited to bring you guys another video. Every time we do a video, we honestly have no idea what we're going to talk about, what direction it's going to go in. And it's just really exciting to see it and listen to it and really respond and talk and learn something different. So this is just so cool. So we want to get set the record straight, as we've been trying to do on our channel. We really need people to see this. We are almost obsessed with just getting this message out there because we didn't know this information, and we thought that everybody, you know, it's almost like you're living in a crazy world where you're watching the news, you're watching different shows, and you start doing your own research and like, wow, this is not reality.
The Truman Show, The Matrix.
Exactly. So people are in the Matrix, and that's how it felt when we started to learn about Islam. We're like, this religion is so different than it says on the news and what people are saying and all that. And of course, we had friends that were Muslim, but we didn't really go into it and talk about religion with them. So it's just so interesting to learn about it now. So let's go ahead and learn some more. Hello, ChatGPT. I want to know, number one, does Islam promote peace? Yes or no?
Hello. Yes, Islam promotes peace. The very word Islam comes from the root salam, which means peace. The teachings of Islam encourage peace in personal conduct, social relations, and global interactions. Would you like me to explain how Islam promotes peace in more detail?
Yes, I want to know, how does Islam promote peace? And then I want to know, why is it misunderstood as being violent? Why do people think that and say that?
Let's break it down step by step. 1. How does Islam promote peace? Islam promotes peace at multiple levels: spiritual, interpersonal, and societal. Here are some of the key teachings. Peace is a core principle of the faith. The word Islam itself means submission to God's will, which brings inner peace to believers. The Quran often refers to the path of peace and encourages Muslims to live in peace and harmony with others. In Surah Al-Baqarah 208, it says, "O you who believe, enter into peace wholeheartedly." Promotion of mercy and compassion. Islam teaches that Allah is the most merciful, Ar-Rahman, and most compassionate, Ar-Rahim. Muslims are encouraged to emulate these qualities in their own lives by being merciful and compassionate toward others. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself is described as a mercy to all the worlds. Rahmatan lil alamin in the Quran, 21:107. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Islam promotes forgiveness and encourages believers to reconcile conflicts rather than escalate them. The Quran says in Surah Ash-Shura 42:40, "The repayment of a bad action is one equivalent to it. But whoever pardons and makes reconciliation, his reward is due from Allah." The greeting of peace. Muslims greet each other with Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be upon you. This greeting reflects the peaceful nature of interactions encouraged within the faith. War only as a last resort. Islam allows for war only in cases of self-defense or against oppression. But even then, it emphasizes minimizing harm and protecting civilians. The Quran prohibits aggression, stating in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:190, "And fight in the way of Allah those who fight you, but do not transgress. Indeed, Allah does not like transgressors." Justice as a foundation of peace. The Quran promotes justice, as true peace cannot exist without justice. In Surah An-Nisa 5, it says, "O you who believe, stand firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah, even if it be against yourselves, or your parents, or your relatives." Justice is seen as a key component in ensuring peaceful and harmonious societies. 2. Why is Islam misunderstood as being violent? Despite these teachings, there are several reasons why Islam is often misunderstood as a violent religion. Selective representation in the media. Many people's perceptions of Islam come from news reports about violent acts committed by extremist groups who claim to be acting in the name of Islam. These groups, such as ISIS or Al-Qaeda, twist Islamic teachings to justify their actions, but they represent a small minority of Muslims. Unfortunately, the media often focuses on these violent acts, overshadowing the peaceful majority of Muslims and the broader teachings of Islam. Historical conflicts. Some people associate Islam with historical events like the Crusades or the Ottoman Empire's expansion, seeing these as evidence that Islam is inherently warlike. However, like any major civilization or religion, Islam had periods of conflict, but these were often political rather than purely religious in nature. Misunderstanding of jihad. The term jihad is often misunderstood to mean holy war, but its true meaning is much broader. Jihad means struggle or striving, and refers to the inner struggle every Muslim faces to live a good moral life. There is also the concept of jihad in self-defense, but this is only a small part of the broader meaning. Unfortunately, extremists misuse the term to justify violence, which leads to misunderstanding. Fear of the unknown. For many people in non-Muslim majority countries, Islam is unfamiliar, and fear or suspicion can arise from a lack of understanding. This is compounded by cultural differences, language barriers, and the portrayal of Muslims as the other. Fear and ignorance often lead to misconceptions. Extremist misinterpretations. Just as extremists in other religions or political groups can misinterpret texts to justify violence, some fringe groups within Islam do the same. However, mainstream Islamic scholars strongly condemn their actions, emphasizing that these extremists do not represent true Islamic teachings. Summary: Islam promotes peace through its core teachings of compassion, mercy, forgiveness, and justice. It encourages.
I mean, even whenever you're like, for instance, whenever you talk about the Prophet Muhammad, Jesus, or any prophet, you always say, peace be upon them.
Yeah.
It's literally the saying that you say whenever you meet another Muslim person, peace be upon you. Mm-hmm. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
So, I mean, and that is just, I mean, it's just like, it's really shocking to me how few people understand this and know this information, because we live in a society today that people don't care. They're not listening about the facts. They don't want to know facts. They just want to know about, hey, what's on the news? And then they get programmed. You heard the chat GPT say it. It literally said because of the news, and they just focus on violence and negativity. If you're even watching the news, you're programming that into your brain over and over again, in training your subconscious mind to be fearful.
Yeah. And unfortunately, a lot of people are basically too lazy to use their own mind. They actually don't want to think for themselves. And it's easier to just be spoon-fed what to think about the world instead of taking the time to actually critically think and research or whatever, you know? And that's actually the easiest way for the devil to come in, is when you're too lazy to even do your own thinking. Shaitan will come in and do your thinking for you.
Absolutely.
So that's unfortunate. But yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I mean, the fact that the Quran and Islam promotes forgiveness, I mean, I think that's huge. It actually promotes forgiveness more than Christianity, really, because, you know, there's more leanness when it comes to going to hell. You can actually leave, etc. But I know we both are huge believers in forgiveness is the way of peace, the way of love, the way of God, like, period. You have to forgive. So anything that teaches that is extremely peaceful. And yeah, I think the whole concept with jihad is really interesting, because it's basically talking about the holy war within, like the spiritual war within our own bodies, where we have to face God versus the devil, basically, and bombarding us all the time with every decision we make in this world. So I definitely understand I think I understand what it actually means. Maybe you guys can inform us more.
No, that's interesting, Kelly. I mean, see, that is why, I mean, a lot of times you come up and you have the most interesting takes ever. I mean, you're talking about the holy war within. I mean, that is like the real level of spirituality that everyone is battling on a day-to-day basis, trying to figure out who they are, what is good, what is bad, and how to live a peaceful and holy life and connect to God. That is the true jihad, the holy war within. And while I don't know, we might have just created something. I don't know if that's already out there. I don't know what, but learning about this really is inspiring to us. And it's such a beautiful concept whenever you really start breaking it down and learning it, guys. I can't even begin to tell you how grateful we are to learn about this and really, expand it and hopefully help other people learn as well.
Yeah.
This is really what we're put on this planet to do, to help and people understand Islam and to teach it as much as we can and to learn it ourselves. Thank you guys for watching the video. Liking and subscribing is all you need to do. Thank you to the people who donate to the channel. You guys are helping this channel stay going. Thank you. We see all of your messages on there. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.